Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Gold Band, a musical mosaic hosted by the Lethbridge Community Band Society. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the traditional territories and oral practices of the Blackfoot Nations, which include the Siksika, Piikani, Kainai, Tsuut'ina, and Stoney Nakoda First Nations. It is also the homeland of the Métis Nation and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 regions of southern Alberta. We are very excited to host the second of 2 Gold Band audition concerts. Tonight we have 3 skilled conductors auditioning as a trio for the position. They are Carly Lewis, Ken Rogers, and Tanya Arnold. Please join me in welcoming our first conductor of the trio, Carly Lewis, to the stage. And at this time, please rise and remove your hats if you are able for the playing of O Canada. Carly's first selection this evening is called Arabesque, composed by Samuel R. Hazo. This work is inspired by the sounds and traditions of Middle Eastern music and is written in 3 connected sections, each with a different character. The opening section is called Taksim, which is a type of Arabic musical improvisation. It's meant to sound free and expressive and sets the mood for the entire piece. You'll hear this section begin with a flute solo performed tonight by Amber Barham that is written to sound almost improvised and very expressive. The second section is based on dabka, which is a traditional Middle Eastern line dance often performed at celebrations like weddings. In this part of the music, the rhythms are strong, energetic, and meant to feel like dancers stepping together in time. The driving beat is played on the hand drum called the doumbek, which you'll hear tonight played by Taylor Murphy. Taylor, would you please play us a few measures of that rhythm that we will hear in this piece? Thank you, Taylor. The final section is a chorale, where themes from earlier in the piece return in a broader and more powerful way. This section brings the work to a strong and dramatic conclusion. We hope you enjoy Arabesque. Our next selection is Hope Glowing in the Sky, composed by Naoya Wada. This piece was inspired by the natural beauty of Kumamoto, Japan, and the resilience and hope of the people who live there. The music begins with a gentle and expressive theme introduced by solo horn player, played by Chorale, and solo flute played again by Amber Barham. This melody represents hope, and as the piece continues, that theme is passed from one section of the band to another, showing how hope can grow and continue across generations. As the music builds, it becomes more energetic and powerful before calming near the end. The peaceful closing reminds us of light shining through the sky, quiet, steady, and full of promise. We hope you enjoy Hope Glowing in the Sky. final piece that Carly will be conducting this evening is called Jitterbug. The Jitterbug is a lively swing dance that became popular in the 1930s and 40s. It is known for its fast footwork, big energy, and playful style, especially compared to the more formal dances of the time. This music captures that same exciting feeling using strong rhythms, sharp accents, and bold brass and percussion sounds. As you listen, you might imagine dancers spinning, jumping, and reacting to the music's sudden changes. Jitterbug is full of energy and fun, and it really shows off the rhythmic side of the concert band. We hope it makes you want to tap your toes or even dance along. Thank you, Carly. Please join me in welcoming our second conductor of the evening, Ken Rogers, and the orchestra will take a moment to retune. Now let's welcome Ken properly. There we go. Eventually we'll get there. Ken's first piece will be Hummingbird, the Angel's Messenger. This was composed in 2023 by Winnipeg-based composer Peter Meechan. It was commissioned by Calgary High School band teacher Jeff Bryant in memory of his mother Lynn, a music teacher who especially loved playing the piano. Jeff wanted a warm and loving piece that featured the piano. One of the stories shared with composer Meechan was of the family connection with hummingbirds. Lynn was often reminded of her own mother by the appearance of hummingbirds at unusual and unexpected places. Her mother had also passed away from cancer, and ever since then, Lynn would regularly be visited by hummingbirds at their winter home in California. Shortly after Lynn's passing, many close friends and members of the family reported seeing hummingbirds in rare and unexpected places too. The composer writes, "This connection was something that spoke to me. Across various cultures and spiritualities, the hummingbird symbolizes joy, good, and resilience. It is believed to bring healing to the suffering, to signal good luck to travelers, and is considered a messenger for the angels." The Gold Band welcomes guest musician Bonnie Plews as piano soloist for Hummingbird, the Angel's Messenger. In 1924, George Eastman, the inventor of Kodak film and founder of the Eastman Kodak Company, personally picked Hanson to head, wait for it, as I turn the page here, University of Rochester's fledgling Eastman School of Music. Eastman knew little about music, but was a shrewd judge of talents in others, with Howard Hanson being no exception, as he came to be widely known as one of the deans of American composition. He held the post of director of Eastman School of Music until his retirement 40 years later, and during that tenure would elevate the school to a commanding position in the American musical community, a reputation which continues to this day. Chorale and Alleluia was Hanson's first work for concert band and was completed in January 1954, and its premiere on February 26th at the Convention of American Bandmasters Association. The piece opens with majestic flowing chorale. Soon the joyous Alleluia theme appears and is evident throughout. As the tempo picks up, a bold new third melody makes its appearance in lower voices, building in combination with both of the earlier themes. The effect is one of exaltation, solemnity, and dignity. Please enjoy Chorale and Alleluia. Well, on that amazing note, we will now have a 15-minute intermission. You can find washrooms to your left in the lobby, and we'll see you back in 15 minutes for more magical music. welcome back. We will continue with Melodious Thunk. Composer David Biedenbender. Sorry, Ken, my bad.
I'll talk to her later.
Composer David Biedenbender begins his notes on our next piece with a definition of thunk, an abrupt, flat, hollow sound. Example, the book landed on the floor with a thunk. Or to produce an abrupt, flat, hollow sound. So that's the thunk part of his Melodious Thunk. Composed in 2012, the Melodious part completes a spoonerism on Thelonious Monk, the famous jazz pianist, whose wife nicknamed him Melodious Thunk because of his clunky but brilliant piano playing and his scatterbrained nature. In this piece, you'll hear big thunks interspersed with pointy, clunky, bluesy blips, which eventually transform into long, laid-back, jazzy melodies accompanied by funky bass lines. Biedenbender writes that he hasn't consciously borrowed any specific tunes or licks from Monk, but does quote a famous Dizzy Gillespie tune, Salt Peanuts. Thank you so much, Ken. And we will now bring Tanya Arnold to the stage. Tanya begins her direction with Adagio. This piece unfolds as profound lament, gradually intensifying into an emotional climax before returning to quiet introspection. This movement is a universal meditation on loss, beauty, and longing. Its soaring lines and delicate textures have made it widely recognizable beyond the concert hall. Originally written for guitar, the Adagio has been transcribed as a solo for a variety of instruments with various accompaniments. This arrangement is still unpublished and was kindly donated by the Australian arranger Brendan Elliget for our use tonight. Thank you to Brendan for your generosity in giving us his arrangement. Tonight, we welcome René van de Vendel to perform the solo on euphonium. René has been an integral part of the Lethbridge Community Band Society since its inception. In addition to hauling equipment for all three bands and giving generously of his time and personal resources, René plays in the brass and gold bands as well as the locally acclaimed Bridge Brass Quintet. Please welcome René van de Vendel and the Gold Band to the stage to perform their version of this beautiful movement from the Concierto de Aranjuez. The next piece will be Italian in Algiers, or L'Italiana in Algeri. It's a defining example of Italian comic opera where its true focus is not realism, but witty satire and sparkling musical moments. The opera is set in a fanciful version of Algiers and is the story of love. The story centers on Isabella, a clever and determined Italian woman who arrives in Algiers in search of her beloved Lindoro. Lindoro, however, is enslaved by Mustafa, the Bey of Algiers, who has grown bored of his own wife and desires an Italian woman instead. So, as often happens, the women take matters into their own hands and decide to outsmart Mustafa using charm, wit, and strategic manipulations. Throughout the overture, you can hear quiet solo moments where one might imagine Isabella pondering on a plan. This is followed by a series of conversations back and forth that seem to erupt into grand arguments, followed by more periods of introspection. As the overture progresses, it appears that things become increasingly complicated and intense until finally you hear a wonderful, joyous, and somewhat boisterous conclusion that one could only imagine means all is well and the women triumph. Mustafa must bend to their will, reconciling with his wife, while Isabella and Lindoro successfully and happily escape. The next piece was originally written as a choral piece from the Russian Orthodox Church. The text, sung in Church Slavonic, translates roughly to, "Salvation is created in the midst of the earth, O God. Hallelujah." While the text speaks of salvation, the music resonates with a profound sense of hope. Hope not as longing, but as something realized and present. Perhaps listening to this beautiful, simplistic, but powerful composition will encourage us all to take a moment to contemplate the need for hope as we navigate through the difficulties that the world and personal events bring to us. We have a couple of quick thank yous and announcements before the Gold Band performs their final piece. First off, thank you to our concert committee and helpers tonight, Krista Graham, Amanda Rood, and Chris Sommerfeld. Thank you to the LCBS board for all their work in keeping our society, our bands, and our concerts alive and well. And thank you to our 3 conductors for their fine work in the last 7 weeks. If you would like to hear more music from the Lethbridge Community Band Society, please join us on Saturday, May 9th at 7 p.m. at Southminster United Church, which features our brass band with hires as conductor of the Gold Band. The final piece this evening will be the Radetzky March. This was written to honor Field Marshal Joseph Radetzky von Radetz, quite the name, following his victory at the Battle of Custoza during a period of revolutionary upheaval across Europe. In the year 1848, this was marked by widespread political unrest throughout the Austrian Empire. Against this backdrop, Radetzky's military success became a symbol of stability and imperial strength. Strauss composed the march as a celebratory tribute, and it quickly gained popularity among both soldiers and civilians. Legend has it that the march's distinctive rhythmic character was inspired by soldiers clapping and stamping along to the music, an association that continues in modern performances. This march remains a staple of the Vienna Philharmonic repertoire to this day. Please enjoy this famous light-hearted celebratory march.
And before we do this, can we please give a round of applause to our very gracious host?
Thank you so much. We'd like to invite our 3 conductors to come to the stage to be recognized at this time. Ken, Carly, and Tanya. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this amazing organization. Thank you for attending the concert. Please get home safely, and we look forward to seeing you at future concerts.